Okay, so I pulled this off, and this is how it was when it came out. I'm assuming that the other rod cylinder is going to be like this, and this would be why the loader is leaking down, because there's no seal here, and the fluid, when you go on this side, will actually leak through and come to the back side of the piston. There should be a seal on the inside of this piston cap here, and then this should be tightened all the way down to where the fluid can't come through to the other side. This was how I pulled it out. I did not have my meta glasses on when I did it, but my assumption is that the leak down is going to be on both of these cylinders are doing the same thing. Somebody may have repaired this and didn't do this all the way, so I have not pulled this off yet, and I don't know if this is going to be damaged threads. I'm really crossing my fingers that whoever repaired this last didn't cause damage. So yeah, hopefully that's not the case, because then we'd have to get a new rod with this. So I'm going to attempt to take this off, because it's the only thing I can do, and that would be what a hydraulic shop would do, is to attempt to take this off. Now, it doesn't look like it's pressed with any markings to tighten it. It doesn't. Usually they'll put a detent in here, but Scott, all I can do is try to take this off and hope that that it's not going to be damaged. That being said, I believe this is why the leak down is on your loader, not the loader valve itself. So I would recommend probably changing the other tilt cylinder. We'll see where this one goes. So yeah. Anyway, this is the seals that blew out right here. And it was just pouring out whenever I would function it. So that means that the inner seal in here is gone, and this is just really a dust cap. So once the inner seal goes, it just blows out, which is what it was doing. Anyway, I'm going to attempt to get this off, and I'm going to get my glasses and record that process. McDiesel Rehab out. All right, so here we go. Got this supported, and we're going to slowly turn on this. Sure, it's a left-handed thread. Well, it's going easy, so that's a good sign. Seems like it does have a little bit of detent somewhere, or it's tapered in this end to be tight when it goes down. So what we'll do is we'll find out once we get to a certain point. And yep. Okay. All right, so it does not look damaged. So if you look, there's a little oblong at the top maybe looking. I could be wrong. Hard to tell. I'd have to put a mic on it, but so that's a good sign. So then we pull this off. There should be a seal. Nope, no seal there. Okay, that's surprising. Usually every other cylinder I've taken off has a seal that goes on the inside of there, so when you push it down it seals off. But I might be able to put something in there to seal that just in case. All right, so we've got this off, and we're gonna clean this, and then I'll pull the seals off of it. This is your pressure seal, the brown colored one, and this is, what do they call that again? Bushing. So this is your bushing right here, this black piece that's split. So that's the bushing, and this is your pressure seal. So some of them have brass or bronze, and then there's also going to be one on the inside of here. So all right, loosen that up, slide this off, then I'm going to tighten this back so it doesn't come off. And as you can see, there's that inner bushing, and there's that inner seal. You can see it's all chewed up in there. Yep. And then this is the dust cap right here. The dust cap still looks kind of good, but since we got the kit, this looks like it's factory, so maybe this just backed off over time. I don't know. But we'll get these seals out of there. I'll start recording that here in a second. We'll clean this up. Alright, so got our picks here. We can pull these out. This one's going to be a little more difficult, but oh look, it's coming apart. Nice and falling apart. That's exactly why it was leaking. Sometimes these are a pain to get out because they fall apart. There it is. So that's pressure seal that basically went out. So these are directional seals. Obviously the side that's got this U channel in it goes in, so that whenever you have pressure on this side, they will expand and push against the walls and create the seal on the inside and the outside. So look in there. We'll get that all cleaned out. We'll get this. These guys are a little more difficult. Push in. That's that bushing. So we got both of the seals on the inside cleaned out. And then we'll have this seal here to get out. This one's going to be a little more difficult. Okay, it broke. So I read. I'll have to stretch that over. Now, we'll be careful not to drop this. Now, we'll use a little flathead to get in there and pry that open. See if I've even got one in here. See if this will get in there. Maybe, maybe not. I'll turn this way. Try not to damage anything when I do this. It really doesn't want to get in there, and that's kind of too wide. And that doesn't have enough. Let's see. Okay, alright, so now we've got a little bit better one, and I'm going to use just these. I don't want to put too much pressure, so I'm going to use very light tools to see if I can get this out without causing too much damage. Wow. Let's see. Here we go. That's it. So that's why you want to be try not to cause any damage to this surface. So that's your dust seal. That's the seals on this. We'll get that cleaned in a minute. Now this one is going to be easier. Okay, it's on the outside. Take that. Roll that right out. This one's going to be the hard one. It's also going to be the hard one to get back in. Again, we want to try to do this without causing damage. The reason why is this is a little bit harder type of seal. And Well, we can break it because it's coming off. But again, that's the other seal. And there's one on the inside. Get that guy. Don't like to use this pick a little different. Gets there at a better angle. I want to go the other way, not this way, so I'm going to roll it on like that. Oh. 'Cause I don't like putting holes in these in case you have to reuse them. I hate doing that. Because sometimes the kits are not quite right with revisions. You never know. Okay. So that's one seal right there. Bushing, seal. This is the piston. Fluid on either side pushes this way. Fluid on this side pushes this way. Bolted on so it allows it to function dual action. They call it a dual action cylinder. Alright. So now we'll get these all cleaned up. That is all. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean this a little bit right here. I don't like how it cleaned up on that raise, so we're going to clean the inside of that groove. You see how it's coming out cleaner. It's got that little bit of rough in it. You got to be very careful because sometimes you'll go boom and it'll pull your shirt in. But I really need to invest in a bench grinder or something. Also, in a parts washer. They're hard to find nowadays for a good deal. But, yeah. Anyway, the brass one would have been nice. This is the softest one I have. I don't like to use too aggressive a wire wheel and stuff. You really don't want to take off too much surface because they're designed to be a pretty tight surface. Close tolerance for things. So anyway, got that cleaned there. It should be good. We'll get this all wiped down in here. Much cleaner. Much better. You can still see some dust on there. We'll get it clean again. That's why I want a parts washer, but we'll still get it clean. We'll get it blown off. Get it all wiped down, cleaned up. Make sure there's no little boogers or anything in there on the threads. Let's see what we get in there. That. What is that right there? Must be a little stain. That's fine. Do this, run the threads. My fingernail. Yeah, so that looks good. So what we're going to do is we'll get those seals, we'll get them warmed up, and put them in a little bit of hydraulic oil and start putting them on here in a minute. And I'll video that too. Make sure we got this all nice and cleaned up. I'm going to clean the inside of that too. We'll get that with that wire wheel. So we can get in there. Not really well. This one's too big. Working a little bit. Again, that's... Here we go. Okay, so the trick on this is to make it like a U shape. I don't have the tool, but typically it'll do like this. We'll try to push it in and bend it like a U by hand, so I don't think it's going to work. They have a little set of tools that does it. They got a little oil on it, but let's see here. When you bend it like that, and usually it'll go in, but let's see here. There we go. Let's see. There it is. Boom. And that's it. Get that one in. Had a little oil on there. Okay. Now we'll put a little oil on this guy. This is the bushing inner. So this we will obviously bend, make a little smaller, push down, boom. Goes in, locked in. Got those. Trying to do these guys because I got them warmed up. So they'll stretch. Now this one is the one that's going to be a little hard, but let's see if it'll go. Alright. A little hard to go, but okay. Yeah. And that'll push down in once we get it pushed in. And then we'll do this guy. Do this guy here. And again, we'll just spread. Oh, I don't like that I didn't get all the way around. And boom, that's it. And then we've got this one to go here. Let's see. Okay, it's gonna stop. When we started recording. Again, this is a little tighter. Oh. Use this one. Get it around. Okay. Slowly push it down. There we go. Just push it, work it down. So I had these sitting where they get hot, so they'll kind of stretch. There it goes. So that's that one. Put a little oil in here as well. I already oiled it. That should be it. Other than this one. So this one here, I'll use one of my bigger sockets here. Hopefully I have one that will fit. No, not there. I should have one in here. Ooh. No, I've got one somewhere. Gotta find it. Gotta find it. They have a tool, but I don't have one. See, that doesn't fit, so we'll make sure. Let's see here. There we go. That one fits. So we're going to, again, I'm going to use a light amount of pressure to do this. And we'll see it's going in an angle, so I need to press on this side more. So we'll hit over here. She's going in slowly but surely. Okay. All right, so alright, so this is a dust seal. It goes in that way, so it keeps dust out, which is why when this seal leaks on the inside, it just blows right out of this one, just blows right out. So we still got some more to do. So we're gonna give it some more taps. There we go. That is how you do it when you don't have a tool. Basically the tool is just a flat piece like this, so you can just boom and press it in and it evenly does it. But for what we're doing here, it kind of works. Not kind of, it actually does. Alright, so now that we've got this all cleaned up and oiled, we're going to head over and we're going to start putting this on. Torque value on this can be around 230 foot-pounds. So I'm going to find the socket for that. And it's going to be a standard. So I believe it's going to be, whoa, it's probably 1 1/8, and I don't have one there. We'll find a 1 1/8. I know I've got one somewhere because it's 1 1/16. It doesn't fit. That's boom. Yeah, it's 1 1/8. Let's see. We could probably use metric. See, 27, 28. I don't know. Again, way too big. 32. What is this one? 29. See, it's gonna be 28. Definitely want to make sure you get the right size. That's 1 1/4, isn't it? I know I have a 1 1/8 somewhere, but I need to find it so that we can get the right torque. Well, we'll find it. We will find it. I got it somewhere. I've had to use it before. Oh, yeah. Where are you at? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put one of these little O-rings on here. It barely fits. It's the smallest one I have that will fit. We're going to put that because, well, I think it's weird that it doesn't have one in here. So we're going to put this on that way. When we tighten this down, it'll kind of smush in there in that little spot in there. Now that's going to go on second. First thing is going to be, yeah, I forgot to grab my anti-seize, so we'll put this cap on. You know what? Let me go grab my anti-seize. Alright, so we're going to put this on. This is going to be a little, I'm going to have to tighten up this. And, alright, there we go. That's our dust seal. And Put this on the correct way, which is like this. And then I've got our antices. We'll put it here on the threads. Doesn't take much, just a little here. And this is so we can get our proper torque value once we get going on it. And got our torque wrench. I'm gonna loosen this, set it down, retighten. Alright. And so it calls for 223 for that, 223 foot-pounds, and this goes to 250. So we're gonna pull back on this and then rotate the handle until we get all the way up to 225. I'm gonna go 220. It says 223. I'm gonna go 225. Let's see here, 180 foot-pounds. 220. All right. So that's 220. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 225. And we're just gonna go, and then that's gonna be a minute because we gotta go all the way down here. We're up with this. Well, it's probably easier with the ratchet. It was. I just couldn't see. The battery's about to go out, so hopefully we can get this tightened up before I charge the glasses. 250 is a lot. That's it. Oh, let's see. All right. That's it. All right, as soon as we get done, I always relax my torque wrench, put it back to 0. You don't want to leave it under tension. So do that and get my glasses charged and we'll continue on. Yeah. Let's see here, foot-pounds. I'm gonna say 50 is bottom, so right there. All right, big diesel out. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add just a little bit of fluid in here. Let's take a look. Yeah, you should be able to see in there. I don't know if you can with that one or that one. I don't know which one's recording. I think it's one on the left. So we're gonna pour a little bit in there. Hydraulic oil. Man, this cylinder is hot sitting in the sun. Texas sun is hot. Okay. Right there. That way we don't push it out. And I'm gonna put a little bit on this. Okay, and then a little bit on there. Okay, so I did that so when we push down, the air will get in there, and when we get to the very bottom, it'll push a little out. And this is going to be a little hard to get going. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay. I did. Okay, we're gonna Do just like this. I don't know about baby girl. Okay. A little mess here, but be all right. Pretty close. Getting pretty close. Try to get out as much as you can. Okay, that should be good. And then we'll. Oh, there it is. Hopefully. Yep. Okay. What, baby girl? Alright. See you in a little bit. Okay. Now we'll tighten this on there. We should have fluid in here. Then we'll retighten, reconnect those fittings. This should be good. I don't have a correct spanner wrench, but this works because it doesn't get really tight anyway. Again, oh, that Texas sun is hot. Woo! Alright, so I'm doing this low because I don't want to push out any more fluid from there. I don't want to have as much, I want to try to keep as much air out as possible. So, like I said, we'll just slowly tighten this. It doesn't have to be super tight. And once we get it on, I ought to make a adapter that locks in on these. It's smooth for this action right here, so we're not damaging anything. We're almost tight, almost to the point. I want to say that's it right there. And we'll give this a little turn to where it will line up. Okay, this should be it. Yep. And we'll cover this up, and then we'll add that to the reservoir to make up for what was lost. Still recording video, so it's hard for me to see in the sun. Alright, so we'll wipe all this down. And then I'm going to start it and we'll tilt the loader. That way I can get this back into that pin. And we should be good. Because the way it is, I can't get it in there. So let's see if I do this. It should not take off. Good. Should be enough right there, and we'll adjust it. Whoop. Yeah, we'll have to come in a little bit. About to stop video. Okay, so the glasses are getting kind of hot, but they're not wanting to record, so I'm trying to be quick here. See if I can get this in. Oh, oh. See here. Let's see here. Oh, there it goes. Get in there. Oh. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna kill it, and then we'll hook up those hoses. Okay. Which one are you? Okay. Okay. All right. Lots of oil leaks. When you do this. Okay. All right. Make sure that's the right one. Yep. Uh-oh. Clean that. Okay. That's pretty much all she wrote. To get this, hook it up, purge the lines, which will happen naturally when we function the loader. And should be good to go. What we'll do is we'll slide that other piece on that's right there, put it on, and then